Alrighty, welcome back everybody to our latest live stream. I hope everybody's having a good afternoon so far. We do have some breaking news. There is a tornado warning that was just issued in Georgia with some pretty strong rotation. This is near the Nahunta area. This is moving to the east, west of Brunswick, Georgia. Pretty strong area of rotation. This could actually drop a tornado at any time. We have Connor Croft, Storm Chaser, with us. He is inside of the storm right now, and this is imminent to potentially produce a tornado. It even could be on the stronger side of things. Notice these velocities very strong right now. Winds going away from the radar are very strong. Even going toward the radar are quite strong. One of the strongest pockets of rotation that we've seen over this event that we've had for the last 24 hours with the tornadoes that we've already seen. So make sure that you are seeking shelter away from windows and on the lowest floor possible if you're included in this tornado warning. This does include areas like Happy Landing, Waynesville, Nahunta, and as well as back through the Lolaton area, and as well as Atkinson, Georgia. This is closer to eastern and southeastern Georgia. So again, make sure that you're seeking shelter immediately away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. The timestamp at the top left of your screen just got fixed, by the way. We are live. It's 1:40 p.m. Eastern time. But again, Connor Croft right now, he is pretty much in the storm right now. Tons of rainfall, obviously, with it. Strong pocket of rotation right now, moving to the east. This is radar indicated rotation, but with that being said, this could very well drop a tornado at any time as it moves to the east. Again, velocity is very strong right now. That's the rotation going away from the radar, and then this is the rotation going toward the radar. This right here is what we're watching for, a development of a tornado. That right there in between it, which if these are tight enough and strong enough, we very well could have a tornado here at any time as this storm continues to move to the east. Initially, the other storm that was producing a tornado risk about 30 to 45 minutes ago was this huge cluster of storms that's back down near Fargo, but that area of storms is primarily now turned into a damaging wind threat. So this supercell that's developing here, moving towards Brunswick, actually has the chance to produce a tornado as it continues to move to the east. Areas out in the front of this as well will include Brunswick, Interstate 95, and Darien. So again, if you're in this current tornado warning right along Route 82 between Waynesville and Nahunta, make sure that you are seeking shelter away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. And again, this could produce a strong tornado if we end up getting a strong enough area of rotation, if it's able to tighten up, which is again entirely possible here as this continues to move to the east. Atkinson is also in the track of this. So those are the three main locations: Nahunta, Atkinson, and as well as Waynesville. Happy Landing and as well as the Lolaton area are also included in this tornado warning. We should have a new radar scan here in just a second. Let's quickly go over to Connor Croft, who is, well, we got a new radar scan, which looks even stronger than before. Again, strong area of rotation. This is still developing here. This is as of 12:41 p.m. Let's go to the core, or sorry, 1:41 p.m. Let's check out the correlation coefficient. Nothing confirmed as of right now, but this is a very strong area of rotation that could drop a tornado at any time. And it's also a pretty large area of rotation, meaning that there is a chance that this drops a tornado anywhere between these two black lines. So just south here of Route 82, this will be moving toward Atkinson and as well as Waynesville over the next several minutes. And again, if you're included in this tornado warning, you need to be seeking shelter immediately away from windows and on the lowest floor possible as this moves to the east. Let's quickly go to Connor. I'm not sure if he's saying anything here. He's currently in the storm, by the way. I think he's kind of on the back side of this right now. He's driving through a lot of rain. He's kind of in the center, I believe, of this discrete supercell here in eastern Georgia.
I think it's buried in rain. From my vantage point, at least.
Connor's on Route 82 right now. He's going through Nahunta, so he's catching up to this rotation pretty quickly. Again, if we see a tornado, then or if there is a tornado, he's probably gonna be able to see it as he continues to move eastbound here on Route 82. And again, if you're just tuning in, this is a very strong area of rotation in southeast Georgia. This tornado warning again was just issued probably about 5 minutes ago or so. Obviously, this is a pretty new tornado warning. Winds going away from the radar are very strong at this point, and going toward the radar are also strong. We have a tight area of rotation here, and it's entirely possible that there is a tornado at some point in the next few minutes, or it even might be on the ground as this continues to move to the east northeast towards Waynesville. But again, we are still in between radar scans, so there's a chance that it does drop a tornado like now or in between radar scans when we can't see it. So just keep that in mind. And Connor's currently looking at something. Looks like you can kind of see the base there. A lot of rain out there. Poor visibility. Okay, Connor's right now right next to this rotation. Here's the latest radar scan. Very strong rotation. Looks like we have a tornado on the ground.
Nothing.
Yeah, we have a tornado in progress, guys. This is a confirmed tornado now by radar. That's south of the Lolaton area. Very strong rotation. This is a confirmed tornado on the ground here in Georgia. If you're included in this tornado warning, make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately away from windows, lowest floor possible. But this is currently on the ground, moving east-northeast. This is now confirmed by radar. Right there is your tornado. It's, yeah, I'm on the right thing. This is just south of Lolaton. This is moving towards Waynesville. Happy Landing. Again, correlation coefficient clearly depicting now a tornado in progress. And this is, again, moving east-northeast. Again, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible if you're included in this tornado warning. This is, again, a tornado in progress just to the southeast of the Nahunta area. And again, Connor Croft is pretty much right next to this storm. So, again, if we'll probably see something, is my guess, as it continues to travel eastbound on Route 82. Areas out in front of this beyond where the tornado is right now will include Georgetown, eventually going toward the Glen Camp area, Jamaica, Ells Point, and Brunswick would obviously be the long-term track on this. And currently this storm is moving to the east at approximately 30 miles per hour. But this is a very strong pocket of rotation. Again, correlation coefficient gives us an idea of debris being lifted up into the atmosphere. That right there is debris that is actively being lifted up into the atmosphere. And then the rotation right here, again, very strong, tight, and confined. And then on the reflectivity, notice there is a clear hook echo here on the storm. A bit more of a rain-wrapped area of rotation. We got a lot of yellow in here, which means that there is going to be some visibility issues being able to see this tornado. So if you are in this tornado warning, obviously make sure that you are not trying to look outside. Make sure that you are staying in your safe place, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible, because this storm is obviously producing currently a tornado as this continues to move to the east. And again, this is just confirmed by radar moments ago. The warning has not been upgraded to observed yet, but we're going to keep it on as observed, obviously, because it's confirmed here by radar. Let's see if we have any other reports on Twitter as well real quick. Here's the latest radar scan. Again, that's the area of rotation. It's actually a little bit weaker than before, but still strong. And there's your tornado. So on the southern side here, the debris field is now growing on this storm. So again, a potentially strong tornado is in progress right now here in near Happy Landing. This is moving east-northeast. And again, this is a confirmed tornado if you're just tuning in. Connor's right now catching up to the area of rotation. Again, we'll keep a close eye on where he's at. He's still probably a couple miles out from the area of rotation, but that right there, again, is the tornado that's in progress. That's on the correlation coefficient. Let me kind of measure out this little field here a little bit. It's about a mile wide when it comes to the debris field. Now, that doesn't mean the tornado is a mile wide, but gives you an idea that the debris is being lifted up into the atmosphere here, moving toward Happy Landing. It will be going towards Waynesville and Route 82 over the next several minutes. And again, if you are in this tornado warning, you need to be seeking shelter immediately, away from windows on the lowest floor possible, interior room of your home or building. Again, this is currently moving to the east-northeast, and this is, again, actively producing a tornado. And that's the area of rotation right there. Down at the bottom of your bottom, where the black circle is, just south of Lolaton. That is where the tornado is likely in progress right now, near Atkinson. This is currently moving to the east. Let's see if we have any reports on Twitter. All right, let's go back to the velocities. Radar just updated. We will go back to Connor here in just a moment. Here's the latest radar scan. And notice the rotation is weakening a little bit here over the last couple of scans. Correlation coefficient still has debris being lifted up into the atmosphere, but it looks a little lighter than before. So this may have been some sort of brief tornado, but it is still at least lifting debris up into the atmosphere. So if you are still near Atkinson, Waynesville, near Route 82, near Lolaton, or Happy Landing, again, make sure that you are staying in your safe place, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. Connor is now going southbound. Let's go to Connor here, because he's going to be going toward the area of debris, at least. He actually has a pretty decent view right now of at least if there is a tornado. He might have a pretty good view of it. Why is it still radar indicated? I am not 100% sure. This is definitely a radar confirmed tornado
Not a good
here.
view. Not a good start. Not see anything.
It has weakened over the last couple of scans, which would mean that it wouldn't necessarily have to be radar or confirmed at this point, but it has at least been confirmed over the last couple of scans, over the last 5 minutes or so. If there's gonna be a tornado, it's probably gonna be on the right side of the screen from Connor's perspective. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, this is west of Brunswick, Georgia. This is near Waynesville, Happy Landing, and Atkinson, Georgia. Again, confirmed tornado by radar. Has been moving across areas near the Nahunta area, moving right along Route 82, going toward the Georgetown area as well. I think Polygon does include Waynesville, Atkinson, and Happy Landing. From those three locations, stay in your safe place away from windows, lowest floor possible.
If I can't go much further,
There has
I'll
been
be in
a
the path.
confirmed tornado thus far with this storm as it continues to move to the east. Yeah, it's very possible that this storm is recycling as well. Though the rotation's a little bit weaker, again, it's very possible that we do get a little bit of recycling on it as it moves towards Brunswick.
No visual here.
Tornado watch was just extended, by the way, for Brunswick, Darien, many of those areas. That'll go all the way through about 4 o'clock this afternoon. That was just upgraded from the Storm Prediction Center, so that is now to be going on for a little bit longer. Here's the latest radar scan. Again, tornado is potentially lifted at this point, but we do definitely still have debris being lifted up into the atmosphere here near Happy Landing. So again, keep that in mind. Again, debris still in the atmosphere. Make sure that you are staying in your safe place if you are currently near Waynesville, Atkinson, or Happy Landing.
Be ready to go.
And this is Connor Croft's perspective. He is currently very close to wherever this debris is, and also the possible tornado that's still in progress. Yeah, there's no preliminary ratings, guys. Again, it's impossible to guess the EF category without having actual surveys by the National Weather Service. We'll go back to Connor in a second, but again, if you're just tuning in, this is the ongoing area of rotation, or really the tornado that has been in progress. That's the debris being lifted up into the atmosphere. If we go over the last few scans, you'll notice that area of debris being lifted up was a lot larger a few minutes ago, closer to areas just south of the Lolaton area. It is a little bit smaller now, meaning that either we have some sort of weak tornado still in progress, or there is some sort of debris still being lifted up from the prior tornado. But the rotation itself is a bit weaker than before. Those are the winds going away from the radar. That's the winds going toward the radar. Let's go back to Connor again. I believe that area of rotation will be crossing over him here in a minute. But yeah, this is just southwest of Waynesville, Georgia right now. And latest scan just shows that the area of debris is very small to almost meaningless at this point. Not really a whole lot of debris anymore. I do think the rotation's weakened out quite a bit over the last few minutes, but it is entirely possible that it does recycle as it continues to move eastbound right along Route 82. We'll be keeping a close eye on that. So the rotation does look to be recycling at least a little bit right now. There is a potential that we see some sort of wall cloud or lowering as well. Problem is, there's a lot of trees here in Georgia, so storm chasing perspective, it's gonna be hard to see.
Come on, radar update. Should be good to go though.
Hey, by the way, Reagan, for becoming a 3-month VIP Velocity member. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Rain is heavy with this one. Connor's driving toward that area of rotation, going, I believe, southbound now. Go back to the live radar. This is what the velocities look like right now. So in the latest couple of scans, looks like that tornado is lifted for the time being. And that is the winds going away from the radar. Those are the winds going toward the radar, just down to the south of Waynesville. Again, this would be where we're watching for a redevelopment of a tornado. The rotation was much stronger a few minutes ago. You'll notice here, very strong area of rotation back near the Lolaton area. That has weakened quite a bit, but it's entirely possible that we do see some recycling on this. So we will be keeping a very close eye on that because, again, this is going to be moving towards Brunswick down the road. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning back from Jennings, Jasper, all the way back through the Folkston area. This is for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. In addition to some small hail, there's also a chance for a tornado. Not really any imminent threat here, but we'll keep a close eye on that. There is still a tornado possible label on that particular storm. All right, let's go back to the storm west of Brunswick, and it looks like Connor might be finding an opening, so we're going to go back to him.
Whoa.
Now look at that right there. These clouds are moving fast, by the way. The low-level jet is cranking today.
Okay.
Pretty good view here of the storm.
Just scud. Just scud.
I think he's turning around going the other way. Latest velocity scan still showing some broad rotation now.
Gotta get back to the highway.
Rotation's definitely weakened here over the last couple of minutes. Again, it could recycle though. Bottom right of your screen is the area of rotation. The tornado warning was just canceled. So they just canceled the tornado warning. With that being said, the rotation still does exist. It's entirely possible that we go back to a tornado warning if it strengthens again. Yes, the CC drop is gone. So this is what the storm looks like right now. Again, rotation is definitely still there. We'll see if they reissue a tornado warning down the road as this moves towards Brunswick. It's definitely not done when it comes to rotation. The severe thunderstorm warning as well for the Nahunta area and Hoboken is still ongoing with 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds, but overall, this is really outside of the warning now. They will have to issue a new warning for this most likely, at least for damaging winds, but there's definitely a chance that we get another tornado threat growing with this. The rotation's not like weak. It's not gone completely because we definitely still have rotation right here near 174, and we'll have to see if that redevelops as it moves along Route 82 toward the Georgetown area and eventually going towards Brunswick. Obviously, Brunswick and Darien are the main two locations in the track of this long term, and we obviously have some damaging winds further down to the south as well, back down on the storms that are in southern Georgia and as well as northern Florida. And this cluster of storms also has the chance to produce perhaps an isolated tornado as it all moves down to the south and east. And again, this tornado watch goes for 2 more hours, all the way until 4 o'clock Eastern time. This was just extended moments ago, so that is going to be ongoing here for a little bit longer. Again, Connor Croft currently is on this storm and has been rotating for quite a while. He's driving through a lot of the core of it, so there's a lot of rain, but we will be keeping a close eye on him as he continues to move to the east. That is, again, that pocket of rotation here. Nothing for Texas, no. Yeah, this is mostly a southeast event. The risk of severe weather I will pull up here in just a moment. Let's go to the Storm Prediction Center here. The risk of severe weather has been condensed quite a bit for today. Notice this is the slight risk of severe weather. We have one across Columbia and Fayetteville. Back up in the Carolinas, that threat should begin a little bit later today. And then our slight risk of severe weather still ongoing from about the Tallahassee area back near Brunswick. So that's what we're looking at right now in terms of the threat of severe weather. Marginal threat goes all the way up into North Carolina, and it goes through about Daytona Beach and Palm Coast. Main concern today will be damaging winds, and there's also a chance for a couple of tornadoes, which we just saw one confirmed tornado moments ago. So obviously entirely possible that that tornado risk starts to grow, again, as this continues to move to the east. All these storms move to the east. Let me go back to, we're going to take off the severe weather overlay. New severe thunderstorm warning was just issued for the north side of Brunswick. Again, this is the area of rotation that we've been watching for very closely near Route 82. This is moving to the east. It's going to be moving toward the north side of Brunswick, eventually toward the Country Club Estates. 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds possible. There's a new tornado possible label on this, meaning that we do have a pocket of rotation, and that is broad as of right now, but it very well could intensify as this moves to the east, and we very well could see a tornado develop out of that particular rotation as it moves towards the north side of Brunswick. And this is currently moving to the east. Area of rotation still broad, but that is the area of rotation that we're going to be watching for. Again, it's about to cross over Route 82 here in just a few moments. And Connor Croft right now is pretty close to this pocket of rotation, so we'll be keeping a close eye with him. Again, he is in a boatload of rain right now, but it's entirely possible that we get some footage from him as he continues to move to the east. Thank you, B. Lyle, for the very generous $10 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. Sounds like you might need to order some dinner. It's only 2 o'clock. I have barely eaten anything today. I literally woke up 55 minutes ago. I'm not even kidding. I would have been live earlier if I woke up earlier, but I woke up 55 minutes ago. Don't ask why. Just that kind of day. Spring break has begun. It's back to, it's like Connor's stuck in a light right now. Okay. How's it going, Sandy? Welcome back. We've had 3 live streams in a row. Why don't we have a smaller Connor? That's a good question. I did not have it on. There we go. Here's the latest radar scan. Again, we still have rotation just located near Route 82. And this moving to the east. Again, still on the broad side of things. We will be monitoring to see if it does redevelop. It's still a pretty good looking supercell right now. This is the storm shape, obviously. This is your hook. Don't really have a whole lot of a clean inflow, but that would be the area of rotation near Route 82. Right there. Still watching this closely. Obviously, a lot of rain around this, so it's not a completely rain-wrapped tornado if there were to be one, but it's definitely a pretty hefty area when it comes to visibility. Very low visibility in that area. Back through areas near Folkestone and also into northern Florida, we still have a severe thunderstorm warning ongoing. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour being possible, in addition to some or at least a low-end tornado risk with this area of storms. Rotation's definitely been pretty weak on this cluster. It stretches all the way into Florida. Not really seeing any definitive area of rotation with this right now, but we'll be keeping a close eye on it. The really only area of rotation that I've seen recently, at least, is back over near Folkestone, and that's going to be moving into the very far northern part of Florida, but more of a damaging wind threat right now as that all moves to the east. And then, again, this area of rotation that's located just west-northwest of Brunswick. This is the main pocket of rotation that we've been watching for quite a while. We will watch this closely as it moves further to the east. Damage near Atkinson, Georgia. Yeah, that's kind of to be expected. I haven't seen anything on, Twitter, but I will check and see if I can find anything. Yep, there is tornado damage near the Nahunta area in Georgia. So again, we were covering if you're just tuning in, we were covering a tornado that was on the ground in progress just south of Nahunta. That was on the ground for probably about 5 minutes. Looks like a lot of tree damage, but definitely a lot of damage in that area. And I will be retweeting some photos on our Twitter page at MaxVelocityWX. That was a tornado that happened. And there was a tornado warning, by the way. It never was confirmed by the National Weather Service, but with that being said, it was definitely at least in my opinion, there was a very high likelihood that was a tornado. Correlation coefficient agreed completely with the area of debris as well. Thank you, Soccer, for the 99 cents. Appreciate it. How do I get my Storm Chaser? I licensed them out, so, you know, the way that YouTube works with Storm Chasers and stuff, and this goes for anything, like news media, too. Like, you have to license people out like this. It's kind of like outsourcing. So, I basically pay them for having footage here on the stream, which is only possible with all your support. So, it helps us have a view inside of storms. And Connor's great. I mean, he's currently on the back side of this rotating supercell that's moving toward Brunswick, but he had a couple of good views on this storm a little while ago. But he's driving through a bunch of rain. This is
live, not tornado.
Obviously, the live view here. He's just driving through a boatload of rain right now.
I feel like this should definitely still be tornado one.
Watching from the UK.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're going to be like 2 minutes late, all thanks to that light.
Yeah, this live stream kind of came out of nowhere. I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but we're definitely going to wait and see what happens with this storm. And also, there will be more development later today as well for some more storms. Might get a couple of storms going in North Carolina. Looks to be a bit more of a conditional threat. I do think the bulk of the severe weather will primarily be confined from South Carolina back into Florida. And the tornado risk will still exist all the way through Florida, so we're going to definitely keep a close eye on this. I'm looking on my other phone here right now. There's definitely at least a low-end tornado risk all the way through about Jacksonville, Florida for about 6 o'clock. So as long as there's rotation, we'll definitely still stay live. And this storm is rotating. Connor Croft right now has a view on this storm kind of on the backside. He should be getting out of the rain here, I think, pretty soon. At least the heaviest of the rain.
If there isn't anything, it'd be on the left.
Let's go, Mark. Look back. North Carolina does have a threat of severe weather. It's on the lower side of things, but damaging winds, perhaps an isolated tornado, are still possible. Does anybody know how many tornado warnings we had overnight? Even this morning? We had a confirmed tornado last night at about 3 a.m. And this, let me pull it up here, but this was south of Blue Springs. I mentioned it in today's video forecast, which I made very, very late last night. But this right here, this was a confirmed tornado from last night.
1-800-JUSTICE.
Oh, sorry, there's an ad. This is at the very bottom of your screen, though. That right there. That was from last night, just south of Blue Springs. So, we had a tornado last night. That was confirmed by radar. It was on the ground for a few minutes. Latest velocity scan showing weaker rotation. The rotation's definitely weakening on this storm right now. Again, Connor's not very far from it. There's a lot of trees in this area, so visibility is going to be kind of hard to come by, but this pocket of rotation definitely a little bit weaker than before. Still moving east toward Georgetown, eventually going toward the north side of Brunswick. Connor has a pretty good view on this storm right now. Guessing last night's tornado was weak. The correlation coefficient drop was actually really deep. I'm not entirely sure, though, if we had a strong tornado or not. The problem with that area in particular in Georgia, or not Georgia, sorry, southern Alabama, is that there's a lot of trees, and so the correlation coefficient can show a really deep drop like it did last night, and it could still be kind of on the weaker side because there's just so many trees and there are a lot of smaller trees. So it's entirely possible that it was a stronger tornado, but it's very unknown. Won't know until the National Weather Service goes ahead and surveys that. I haven't seen any damage photos yet on my end, but
Don't see anything.
yeah.
Looks interesting back here.
Yeah, I've been to Georgia several times. Not because of
Looking everywhere,
storm
though.
chasing, but just traveling through it. I guess I've ever been in this area. This is again
Just a
Route 82.
broad circulation now, really big broad.
Like the
circulation.
connection between Brunswick and going through like Waycross and the Nahunta area. It goes right through the middle of the state. That's where Connor is right now. He's again near this very broad area of rotation right now that's moving east. We do have a new tornado warning that was just issued on this storm. So the National Weather Service just issued a new tornado warning. Interestingly enough, on this storm that has some broadening rotation, but this is currently going to be moving toward the Country Club Estates area near Route 82. Seek shelter immediately away from windows, lowest floor possible if you're included in this tornado warning. So again, moving east. If you're in this warning, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible. This will be going on the north side of Brunswick. The rotation itself, not overly strong, but obviously the National Weather Service might be seeing something that we're not. Let's go to a different radar site. That's the main one that we have, I think. I don't think we have anything closer. It's a pretty broad rotation, but they issued a tornado warning, so... This is for Sterling and Arco, Georgia, until 2:45 p.m. Eastern Time. And stay in your safe place away from windows on the lowest floor possible if you are included in this tornado warning. Goes for about 34 minutes or so. And let's go to Connor. It's pretty close to the area of rotation, I believe.
I could have gone. Dang it. Oh my gosh, it's never ending.
So some very ominous skies here in eastern Georgia. And Connor's pretty close to this area of rotation. We'll stay on him at least for the next couple of minutes until we have new radar scan and if there's anything notable. Yeah, the rotation's pretty broad. I'm kind of surprised by this tornado warning, but again, if you are in this area near Jamaica, Georgetown,
I can either take 95 north or 95 south.
or Glen Camp, Fairway Oaks,
which storm I like.
Georgia, make sure that you're seeking shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible if you're included in this tornado warning. And the storm currently moving to the east. Be rain wrapped if it drops. I don't think it'll be like heavily rain wrapped, but it definitely would be, at least to some extent, slightly rain wrapped. What I mean by that is that the visibility wouldn't like be zero. It would be very low though. I mean, it'd still be probably under a mile or so, because the area of rotation is, I mean, it's pretty much embedded in this rain, but it's gonna be like in here. So if you're like looking this direction, you'd be able to see it a little bit better. It'd still be pretty poor. The rain's overall pretty moderate right now. Connor currently driving right in this tornado warned cell. Again, this is just northwest of Brunswick, Georgia. If you're included in this warning, make sure that you are seeking shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, interior room of your home or building. That can be a basement, a storm shelter, anything like that. landfall.
If you're just tuning in and you're not already subscribed to the channel, so smash that subscribe button for more live storm chasing. If you haven't already done so, hit that like button.
Is Connor too loud?
I'll
turn him down.
Appreciate it. If you're
Is that
interested
better?
in helping fund the storm chasing stream, you can either become a channel
Let me know if
member.
that's a little bit better.
My PayPal and Venmo are also listed in the
Thoughts on the hurricane season?
description of the video.
I'll probably do some sort of forecast on that in a few weeks. I don't really have any immediate thoughts on it, though.
For those who are interested in helping fund our
Other than
live
that we're trending
chasing
toward La
channel.
Nina. Latest velocities scan, by the way, showing some broad rotation still. Area of rotation that is ongoing is going to be located just south of Angola, southeast of Jamaica. This is, again, moving to the east, going towards Ells Point, Country Club Estates, eventually going toward the north side of Brunswick. And if you're included in this tornado warning, stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. This is currently moving to the east. Better? Alright, cool. I think the biggest problem right now with Connor's stream is that it is just non-stop rain hitting his windshield, so it's probably pretty loud. As it would be in real life, too. Almost every hurricane season nowadays is above average. It just keeps going in that direction. We're having a hot spot
5 miles to the highway.
for hot period of hurricanes. Latest radar scan, rotation's actually coming together a little bit. This is the live radar. Rotation's come together a little bit more. Again, just south here of the Angola area, moving toward Country Club Estates and north side of Brunswick. That's where it's heading. And stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. This will be crossing over Interstate 95 between the Boys Estate and Ells Point area, probably in about 5 minutes or so. Again, this is still an active tornado warning. We do have rotation. It's definitely not, like, weak and unnoticeable. There definitely is enough rotation there for there to be a tornado at some point before this goes into the ocean. As this continues to, again, track east-northeast towards Interstate 95. And stay in your safe place if you're included in this tornado warning. If you're in downtown Brunswick, you are not in the immediate path of this. You are not needing to be in shelter. But if you're back up near Angola, anywhere near New Hope, Boys Estate, just south of Darien, along Interstate 95 there, you definitely need to make sure that you're in your safe place. Anywhere in the pink polygon.
Appreciate you.
You need to be in your safe place.
Appreciate you, big man.
I don't know how many tornadoes there have been today. For the 37 minutes that we've been live, we've had one confirmed tornado already. And that was radar confirmed. We confirmed that by radar about 35 minutes ago. So if you go back to about, I don't know, 10 minutes in or so, maybe 7 minutes in, that's when we confirmed the tornado. Correlation coefficient confirmed. There have been a lot of tornado warnings, though, today.
Yeah, I'll shoot north for one last intercept on this storm on the
believe
highway.
there's at least been a lot of tornado warnings. I don't know about tornadoes. I'll look and see what
Gotta
the
go, though.
report map shows. If you're just tuning in, again, there is currently an active tornado warning just north of Brunswick. We at least had 2 confirmed tornadoes to this point. The one that we confirmed about 30 minutes ago, and then the other one that was in southern Georgia earlier today. And also, if you include, I mean, technically the tornado that was in Blue Springs this morning, I don't think it's considered today, technically, but that one also was confirmed by radar. It was a deep correlation coefficient drop. That tornado was on the ground for about 10 minutes. And area of rotation right now moving into the Glen Camp area. That's, again, north of Brunswick. Quickly check on the other storms as well, just to make sure we're not missing anything else. And Connor Croft, obviously, is pretty close to the storm. Not seeing a whole lot of rotation with the other storms. This is really the main one. There's a little bit of rotation, if we go to this, there's a little bit of rotation close to the White Oak area. This is in very far southern Georgia into northern, or near northern Florida, but it's in really far southern Georgia, southwest of Brunswick. This storm also currently has some rotation, a little bit of inflow. So we'll need to watch that as it moves closer to the water. Definitely closer to like the east side of Interstate 95 would be the area to watch for there. This is what the velocities look like. So there is a little bit of rotation there. And it's not overly strong, but that would be the other area to watch for out of this area of storms. Rotation is beginning to intensify now near the Country Club Estates area near Glen Camp. So this rotation now beginning to intensify a little bit. Again, if you're included in this tornado warning, make sure that you are staying in your safe place, away from windows, and on the lowest floor possible. StormNet is actually giving this storm a very high likelihood of dropping a tornado here in the next 30 minutes north of Brunswick. This is their probabilities right now, actually really high. I mean, we're talking like 80% chance. We'll see if it happens. Obviously, this is a experimental tool. That was my alarm for waking up today. But the probabilities are pretty high right now. There potentially being a tornado with this as it moves into areas near Brunswick. Let's go back to Connor here. Again, I didn't wake up until about an hour and a half ago, for the record. So, I didn't wake up until about 1 p.m. Very impressive.
Rain wrap situations like this, the only
would have been live earlier.
The tornado is the Bear's Cage.
Yeah, again, this rotation is definitely intensifying a little bit.
Really, dude? I swear, chat.
But again, this right here is the area of rotation. Tornado warning still goes until 2:45 p.m. Eastern time. This is again moving toward New Hope, eventually going toward Country Club Estates and Interstate 95. This rotation, though, very well could come together as it moves closer to the coast. So that video that you guys saw today, fun fact, I made that video at 4:30 a.m. last night. Fun fact. That one I had uploaded around like 9 o'clock. Good times. New radar scan coming in here in just a moment. This is the latest on radar. Again, this would be the area of rotation. It's going to be located near Glen Camp. Got plenty of rainfall coming across this area. The good news is that this will be offshore in about 15 to 20 minutes. Bad news is there is a chance this drops a tornado before that happens. And that's the area of rotation near Glen Camp. It's still on the weaker side with the velocities going toward the radar. Going away from the radar are definitely much stronger. And this is moving to the east toward New Hope, German Village, and Harrington. I believe Connor is chasing in a Nissan or a Honda. Not 100% sure, though. I think it's just like a sedan. Most dangerous thing about storm chasing other drivers. It can be. Driving in general can be more dangerous because of other people. No, it's just a regular video, Sandy. It was my video forecast from like 9 o'clock this morning. I scheduled it so it'd upload around 9. There wasn't really any major changes to the forecast anyway today. I wanted to get that video out before any potential live stream would happen. Now, this is currently a tornado warning that is pretty close to Brunswick. Connor Croft, I believe, is on Interstate 95 now. He's actually going to be heading toward this area of rotation near Brunswick. And again, he's moving off to the north toward that area. So he might be able to intercept this area of rotation once it gets closer to there. Further down to the south, again, I'm not seeing any really big concerns right now with rotation. The main area would be near Woodbine and White Oak. That'd be the only other area that I'm looking at in terms of a concern, but still fairly weak rotation. And then we got stronger winds, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, moving toward Rockville. This will eventually move into northern Florida over the next 15 to 20 minutes. But this is the main area of rotation, just north of Brunswick. I in California? No. Would not be able to afford to live in California. I don't know what exactly Connor has. I couldn't really tell you. He does have a truck, though. I know that. How's it going, Guy? Welcome back. Happy Saturday, by the way, everybody. Happy Saturday. Kind of forgot it's Saturday. I have spring break, so live streams, if they're needed later this week, are definitely possible. Go to Connor here. Apparently there's a lot of cloud to ground lightning. Live stream, by the way, is likely on Thursday. We have a slight risk of severe weather for those in North Texas, primarily in the southern plains. So we'll likely have a live stream then. Again, area of rotation getting close to Interstate 95. It's actually about 2 miles out. It's about to cross over in about 3 minutes. So Connor, again, is approaching that area of rotation here in a few minutes. We'll see if he sees anything. Obviously, poor visibility due to all the rain, but we might be able to get some sort of view of at least some sort of rotation, perhaps a funnel cloud or wall cloud. Rotation right now is located just northeast of Glen Camp near Ellis Point, moving toward New Hope. Country Club Estates will be in the track of this in a few minutes. Rotation will be offshore probably in about 20 minutes. If there is not a tornado, there will still be damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, which means that there will still be the chance for flying trampolines and trees to be falling over from the high winds. I've been in this part of Georgia before. Good times. Once you cross over Interstate 95 from Georgia into South Carolina, it gets, it's brutal.
It all breaks on the highway, my favorite.
It is. It goes from 3 lanes to 2 lanes.
All right, it's gonna cross right in front of us pretty soon. It looks kind of stable now, I'm not gonna lie, so this may not be gonna do it anymore, but...
Connor Croft is approaching the rotation, and he's really, I'm pretty sure he's within a couple miles of the area of rotation. You can kind of see the clouds. Again, visibility is going to be a bit poor because of all the rain, but again, if there is a lowering or anything like that, we'll probably see it on his end. Again, rotation on radar is not overly strong. It looks to be more of a damaging wind threat, but very well could at least see some sort of lowering. We'll wait and see. Definitely can see the clouds a little bit better here from this angle. We're looking kind of south, or we're looking north right now from a southerly angle on this storm, which means it'd be a bit easier to see. Here's the latest radar scan. Rotation now crossing over Interstate 95. That is just north of Ellis Point and north of the Dock Junction area. And that'll be eventually going toward Route 17. And in about 10 minutes or so, German Village, Harrington will be in the track of this. And rotation right now is located right over Interstate 95. No correlation coefficient drop. Again, this is currently moving to the east. And Connor Croft, again, right in the middle of this. We'll see if he can see anything there on his end. Thank you, Guy, for the very generous $9.99. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
It's kind of stable.
Appreciate you a lot. Thank you.
Nothing to suggest that this is on the
Connor's been killing it today. I've only been able to watch him since probably about an hour ago. Because again, I literally woke up at 1 o'clock.
Right in front of us. Nothing. I'm gonna get off here, I think.
Thank you, Janet, as well, for becoming a minimum velocity member. I appreciate that. Welcome to the Velocities. Thank you.
Enjoy your benefits. Quick bathroom break and then blast south.
You know, fun fact, yesterday, before we went live on the...
I think this storm's time is
on that severe weather event yesterday, I was watching the radar for probably about 5 hours. Like, straight. And then that tornado warning got issued. And we were live for like an hour. Like, I was literally watching that radar for the longest time.
Thank you so much, Storm, for everything you've done for us. Produced a weak tornado in an unpopulated area that we were able to get close.
Looks like Connor's going to be giving up on this area of rotation. It's already kind of crossed over Interstate 95. It's going pretty... It's going toward pretty rural areas at this point of,
and we just got the green light. There we go.
Not really rural areas, but it's going more closer to the shore, and it's going to become a little bit harder to catch up to.
The least important green light of my life.
As it goes closer to the ocean. It's a quick moving storm, too. It's not like going 20 miles per hour. It's definitely quick moving. There's a little bit of a view there of some clouds.
Actually, buddy, go, so I can take your spot, big dog.
Yesterday's stream, it's all good. Yesterday's stream wasn't anything too crazy. We had some strong rotation initially, but there wasn't much after that. Didn't really miss much. I would say out of the 3 streams that we've done,
I'll be right back.
I would definitely say that the okay, our stream for some reason at the bottom right is really behind. I don't know why. 1 second, let me figure this out. I'd say really the craziest stream that we've had over the last 3 days ago was definitely the first stream back on Thursday. Thursday was definitely the craziest day. There's just no doubt about that. Because Thursday we had the huge wall cloud develop, like live. It was really incredible how fast that wall cloud developed over in southern Kansas. And if you were at that live stream, it was really crazy. And you can go back and watch it, obviously. But yeah, that in particular was that's definitely the best live stream that we've had so far this week. Which this is definitely the last live stream of the week, technically. But yeah, that was definitely really crazy. And that wall cloud literally developed in the blink of an eye. It was really crazy. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, tornado warning still ongoing north of Brunswick, Georgia. The rotation is still broad, but it's moving toward German Village, Harrington, New Hope, and Country Club Estates. And this is moving to the east. Stay in your safe place away from windows, lowest floor possible if you're included in this tornado warning. And it's going to be eventually moving offshore, eventually, not far from the Brunson Island area, just southwest of Wolf Island. And what we're looking at here is the velocities radar. Those are the winds going away from the radar. Those are the winds going toward the radar. And that right there will be your area of rotation. That's pretty much just crossed over Interstate 95. And that's about to be going toward Route 17. Yesterday's live stream was only an hour and a half. It wasn't like anything crazy. At least it was a pretty, you know, quick live stream because there wasn't really much after that. The only tornado that we actually had yesterday was the Alabama tornado, at least confirmed. That was, I believe, the only tornado that we had yesterday. So, good news there. Obviously, we still have a tornado threat here throughout the afternoon. That goes anywhere from North Carolina back into Florida. Here's the latest radar scan near New Hope. Rotation still ongoing here near Interstate 95. It's definitely broadening out. I would honestly say that rotation's pretty weak. It's not overly impressive. I would still stay in your safe place just in case, but this tornado warning might be allowed to be lifted. Rotation's embedded in a ton of rainfall, by the way. We also have perhaps a little bit of small hail falling there just on the east side there of Interstate 95 in that little pink area. Regardless, that's definitely heavy rainfall near New Hope, but it's definitely possible that we have a little bit of small hail as well moving to the east. Tornadoes are very normal for this time of the year down here. This is a very normal sort of thing. This is not unusual by any means. Let's go back to the south real quick. We're going to check on a couple of these other storms. We have an organizing area of storms back in southern Georgia right now. This is what the live radar or the live velocities look like. Notice all these bright greens. That's representing damaging wind potential. Up to 60 miles per hour on the leading edge of this area of storms. That is going toward Homeland and going into parts of Florida here in the next about 20 minutes or so. All moving south and east. Damaging winds being the main concern. We could see a tornado threat develop out of that, though. The storm that was rotating near Woodbine has definitely weakened in rotation, so not really too concerned about that one anymore. We actually have damage reports now coming out of the first tornado that we had. Mobile home and tree damage across areas near the Long Lake Road area. Possible tornado damage, which I would honestly say almost definitely was a tornado. We had a clean correlation coefficient drop earlier. That was just a few miles southwest of Atkinson, Georgia in Brantley County. And then we still have our ongoing tornado warning just north of Brunswick. But the storms further down to the south and west right now, not really as impressive when it comes to overall rotation. Mostly a damaging wind threat. New severe thunderstorm warning just issued near Interstate 95. That is near the South Ponte Verde Beach area. This is near Route 1. Or US 1, this is moving east-northeast. Looks like we actually have a little bit of rotation, perhaps, but probably not much. Definitely more, I would say, of just some damaging winds. Storms also warned for some quarter-sized hail. More of a downburst damaging wind potential, in my opinion. And then further up to the north, again, tornado warning still goes for approximately 10 more minutes near Brunswick, Georgia. 22 minutes behind. Nice. That happens very often. I don't know. It happens a lot on these streams, and I don't know why. Not just you. There's actually a way I think I can turn that off so you can't go back in the stream and you just stay at the live point. Might actually help. But I also want people to be able to go back and watch things that happened earlier. Actually, it might not be a bad idea. Let me pull up some live traffic cams in Florida. In particular, traffic cams in Florida will be a little bit better, I believe. I don't know if I'll have much of a view in Georgia. It's mostly storms are going to be moving into Florida. Not really much. I don't have any great views of storms, it looks like, right now in Florida yet, but I'll be keeping a close eye on that. How's it going, Euro? Welcome back. And this is Connor right now, driving through the tornado warning through a bunch of rain. I'll be out of that tornado warning here soon. Rotation's definitely weakened, though, near New Hope. Some damaging wind potential does exist through German Village and Harrington. And also a lot of rainfall. Definitely make sure you're driving slow on the roadways if you're across anywhere from South Carolina and North Carolina back into Georgia and Florida. Again, heavy rainfall can definitely cause hydroplaning. Definitely don't want to have that happen when you're on the roadways. It's very dangerous. Take it slow on the roadways. It'll be a wet afternoon here across these areas.
Big CG off to the left. Get in position for this.
The shelf cloud potential closer to southern Georgia is high. We have a pretty impressive cluster of storms that has developed. It's all moving pretty much eastbound. I believe Connor will have a pretty good view on that down the road once he gets closer to Kingsland, Georgia. But this is what we're talking about right here. This storm activity all pretty much moving east-northeast toward Kingsland. Going toward Interstate 95 eventually, but this definitely has some shelf cloud potential.
Most of the nicknames you guys come up for me are terrible, but that one was pretty good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like
hydroplane on a bridge? Yeah, it's scary. Hydroplaning is definitely a scary thing.
That one's okay.
Watching live from Brunswick, all good here. Connor is passing my exit. Nice. Yeah, I think Brunswick is all right. The storm stayed north anyways, the one that's rotating. You'll obviously, you definitely have some more storms coming toward you right now. All this storm activity, for the most part, is obviously non-severe, but there's some lightning, some heavy rainfall, maybe some gusty winds, but that tornado risk definitely stayed off to your north. And rotation, again, really non-existent at this point. The tornado warning still goes for 8 more minutes, but I don't think it's going to be continuing. And then back over near the German Village area, that's really the last area in the track of that pocket of rotation. And maybe Wolf Island, and then it's off into the Atlantic Ocean. So, shouldn't be much of a concern after that. Special marine warning was just issued near St. Augustine, back through the Jacksonville area, by the way. How's it going, Deborah? Welcome back.
Category is the tornado. That tornado we saw today is probably EF0. It was pretty weak. It was cool though. Stay in your lane, Semi. What are you doing, buddy?
Friendly reminder, by the way, if you're just tuning in, make sure to like the stream, subscribe as well if you're new here.
Thank you.
This is severe weather coverage across the southeast United States. Already had a few tornado warnings today. We've had a confirmed tornado about an hour ago back over in Brantley County, Georgia, just west. This was the same exact storm that produced that tornado. It has been weakening, and it's definitely been on a weakening trend at this point. And it's about to move into the Atlantic Ocean, so it will no longer be an issue for most of the Georgia area. but it will be bringing at least a little bit more lightning and potentially some damaging winds across areas near German Village.
You want on the left side? Maybe we can
Connor Croft with us. That's who's in the center of the screen. He is still in the tornado warning. He's about to be out of it. And he's currently near Brunswick, Georgia. He's moving southbound, so he's repositioning to the other storms that will be impacting areas in eastern Georgia and northern Florida later today. That is where he's currently tracking toward right now. By the way, if you have any photos or videos, you can tweet us on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. Tornado warning still goes for 5 more minutes. I would still stay in your safe place if you're near New Hope or Country Club Estates, but other than that, if you're further back to the west of Interstate 95, you do not have to be in your safe place at this point. Tornado warning will probably at least expire. If not, it'll be canceled in the next few minutes. The area of rotation is located here near German Village. About to be crossing into the Atlantic Ocean in approximately 6 minutes or so.
Dab in the middle of the...
But this is the live look at the velocity. So again, just north of German Village and Harrington, that's where there is still a little bit of rotation. Still fairly broad. That'll be moving east. And Connor Croft, by the way, is now out of the tornado warning. He is now south of Brunswick. He is moving toward Kingsland, I believe. So this is still the area of rotation that we're watching. It's going to be moving offshore here in just a few minutes. Just south of Wolf Island and as well south of the Broughton Island area. Moving off to the east-northeast. And really not a whole lot of people in the track of this at this point other than just north there of German Village with some damaging wind potential as this moves into the Atlantic Ocean. Jacksonville, Florida, your severe weather threat will not happen probably for about another hour or two. That'll be a little bit later today. Main concern will be damaging winds. Go back to the velocities down here. Let's see if there's any other rotation. Got a little storm here that's just west of Route 17, south of Route 82. Perhaps trying to develop maybe a little bit of rotation here. It's a little bit trying to organize here. A little bit of rotation, not much. And then damaging winds, the main concern right now, back down into southern Georgia and northern Florida. This cluster of storms is right now pushing primarily to the east and east-northeast. There is a new special weather statement, which likely means that they're not going to issue a severe thunderstorm warning on this, but gusty winds, frequent lightning being the main concern between areas near Homeland, back into Fulton, and also near Route 123. That is going to be moving toward Interstate 95 here over the next little while. Again, make sure that you're staying weather aware across these areas, as there will still be an ongoing threat of some damaging winds. And back further down to the south and west, not really looking at a whole lot of rotation. Again, I think the main concern from here on out will be damaging winds. There is still going to be at least an isolated tornado risk. Tornado warning does expire in 3 minutes north of Brunswick, but the rotation is now about to go offshore. It is outside of the tornado warning. That rotation is there, just east of New Hope. That'll be going toward Wolf Island and then out to sea here in eastern Georgia. Other than that, the rotation's definitely weakening on a lot of those storms. Let's see if there's anything developing up here. Just curious. Looks like not really a whole lot of developments further to the north. Let's see what the... Let's see. All right. Yeah, so this will be the next area of storms to watch for. If we get any organization on that storm south of Homeland, we actually could get a tornado threat out of that. There's actually a little bit like a hook trying to develop here, so we'll have to watch that as it moves to the east-northeast towards Kingsland, Georgia, and eventually toward Interstate 95. But that is really the next threat, I would say. The other storms are all moving offshore. All the other storms, for the most part, back up in Georgia are no longer really a concern at this point. But really, the next concern will be this area of storms here, back down in southern Georgia. And then we got one up here just west of Brunswick that is trying to rotate. Not a whole lot of rotation right now, but it is trying, or at least attempting, to have a little bit of rotation there. Not much. It's very weak rotation. So if there were a tornado down the road, it would probably be on the weaker side of things. But the one that's back near Homeland, I think has a slightly better potential there over the next hour or so. But it's still a low threat overall. It's on the right side of Connor's vehicle. I have no clue. You're talking about like the truck there, or are you talking about the little radar? There's been I think there's now been 3 confirmed tornadoes in the last 24 hours. We had one at the beginning of this live stream. We also had one overnight last night at about 3 in the morning. That was near Blue Springs, Alabama. That was also confirmed by radar. And we also had one this morning, I believe, or at the very tail end of this morning, in parts of southern Georgia, near Waycross, I believe. No problem, Kim. Blue skies in Illinois. It's gonna be a beautiful weekend for most of the United States. The only exception being the East Coast, and I had a video on that earlier today about the entire forecast and what's to come. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty nice weather overall across most of the country. The only exception again being the East Coast. Very dominant high pressure system will return. We're gonna get a lot of nicer weather for much of the country. Blue skies across the Great Plains, the Midwest. The Ohio Valley has a chance of snow tonight. If you didn't already watch my forecast on that today, you can check that out. But there will be some snow in the Ohio Valley, perhaps even eastern Wisconsin tonight, and then back over into the north and east. Areas like northern New England, those areas will see the potential for upwards of a foot of snow, which will definitely be a bit more significant, perhaps even a little bit more than that. And then next week, our focus will be shifting to the Great Plains. This is the day 6 outlook. I think it's day 6. Yeah, this is the day 6 outlook. There's now a slight risk of severe weather for tossing trampolines on tall trees Thursday for the southern plains. That includes the Dallas-Fort Worth area, back into northeast Texas, even down into Austin. Almost guaranteed that there will be a live stream on this for sure. I'm like 99% sure we'll have a live stream on this. Damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes, all in play here across areas in Texas and southeast Oklahoma. I am possibly going to return to a dual live stream on Thursday, meaning that we'll be live on both YouTube and Facebook. It is possible that we do that. Not 100% sure yet, but that is something that is going to be possible. Speaking of Facebook, by the way, if you are on Facebook, our Facebook page, Max Velocity, is going to be more active now. I'm going to post a link to that in chat if you want to follow us on Facebook. We have North Texas Weather Center, but Max Velocity is the one for this page, so I'm going to post a link in chat if you want to follow. Link will be in the chat. It's also linked in the description below as well. But we'll be posting more frequent updates on there about various events. There's spitting flurries in Louisville 2 hours ago. That's something. Yeah, Louisville is it does have a chance for a little bit of snow as well. I don't think you'll see accumulation, but maybe a few flurries. Most areas up there will be just seeing flurries. I don't really expect anything too far beyond that. Mostly a damaging wind threat right now across areas near the Homeland area, or at least gusty winds. Not seeing a whole lot of organization there on that cell for rotation. A little bit of rotation trying to develop here near Route 17 near Waverly. It's kind of in here. It's inside of all that rain. There is a little bit of rotation trying to develop here. We'll keep a close eye on that. That is going toward Brunswick, Georgia. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that as that continues to move to the east-northeast. All right. Let's see. Do you think Minnesota will be active this summer? Probably. I mean, everybody will have some sort of activity. I don't know if it'll be like, more active than average, because I haven't really looked that far ahead. But since we're going to a La Nina summer, I do think it'll be a little bit more active than usual. Just a little bit. Even though La Nina doesn't really promote a lot more rainfall there, I still think it'll be a bit more active there. I think this past year was actually kind of quiet when it came to severe weather, but I do think it'll increase a little bit more down the road. I just realized I was still on the tornado warning screen. We no longer have any tornado warnings, by the way. What do you think the best Radar Omega subscription is? I would probably say, I mean, if you're trying to go for like value, I do think the beta one is pretty good. Like the one that's, or not beta, sorry, gamma. If you want like every single feature, the alpha is honestly the best one, but it's just kind of depends on what your budget is. But I think if you're just looking for value, I think the gamma one's the best. There's a lot of different features on there. I think on their website, they have a list of the benefits on their website. Had to bring all my plants inside that weren't already in the ground. Yeah, there's actually going to be a chance for freezing temperatures even as far south as Texas tonight. So, it's going to be interesting. Stay safe, Jen. I don't think you'll see much until probably later today. Probably closer to like 5, 6 o'clock, Jacksonville. There's a special marine warning for a water spout. Oh, is this? I'm guessing it's about this one. Yeah, if you're currently included in this marine warning, you know any fish here in the ocean, make sure that they are staying safe. The storm actually had a hook on it, interestingly enough, and it still does. There has been a little bit of rotation with this. Near the South Ponte Verde beach area, north of St. Augustine. Little baby hook. You know any fish here between St. Augustine and Jacksonville Beach? Make sure to give them a heads up. There's actually another one up here. This might be the one you're talking about too. But there's some rotation there. It's kind of hard to see from that radar angle, but again, pretty large marine warning there. No problem, Chrissy. Heading to St. Simons, Georgia this week, next to Brunswick. We'll be watching the weather like a hawk. Yeah, and I don't think Georgia will have many problems until the end of the week. So it should be a pretty nice, at least through Wednesday, maybe Thursday, and then maybe Friday, Saturday. That's why I think things will start to pick up a little bit in activity. Maid, no, I have not. I don't plan to. Going to Orlando in 2 weeks. It'll be nice. That's good. It's getting close to the hot time of the year in Florida. I believe it's actually going to be in the low 90s in parts of Florida today. Welcome back, Elva. Any suggestions on a free but good weather apps on Weather Radar? I don't really have any great suggestions for you. I honestly think really, like, most weather apps are, they do cost something nowadays, but I don't really have any great suggestions for you, to be honest. I mean, My Radar is not horrible. We're looking for something free, but it lacks a lot of features, and a lot of them do lack a lot of features unless you pay for them. I'd say that's probably the best one. Sunny but cold in Texas. Yes, it is cold today. Definitely chilly. No problem, Heartland. Water spout is basically a tornado but over water. It's pretty much all it is. And they're usually a lot weaker than tornadoes inland. Or not a lot weaker, but they're usually weaker in general. They don't cause damage. They do send fish. They do sometimes send fish flying though. Steve, I actually don't know about that. I am not 100% sure. Maybe somebody can answer that in chat. I have no clue. Let me check. I'm not sure if there's an option on here. I don't see anything on here, but again, I'm not 100% sure on that one. When's the next big storm in Illinois? Probably going to be later this week, honestly. I do think there's going to be some severe weather later this week. In parts of at least the southern plains. That's the bare minimum. Midwest could get involved, though, at least in some sort of low-grade threat of severe weather. I'm going to check and see on here. Yeah, dew points will be up into the... will be in the low 50s. Might not be enough for severe weather there. Maybe in central and southern Illinois Friday. That might be your next shot at severe weather, including Ohio. That'd be the next chance. And I'll have a video on that probably tomorrow. But today's video is more focused on this storm and how it's going to be growing in size over the next 24 hours, bringing a ton of snowfall to areas in the Ohio Valley, back into the Northeast, and then the severe weather threat. Again, if you haven't already watched that video today, feel free to check it out. A lot of details on there about the forecast that's coming up for this storm today and tomorrow, with severe weather breakdown, which honestly, you don't really have to watch that part, but the snow potential for tonight and tomorrow is the main thing in that video. Pretty view, by the way, of this, of Georgia right now. This is behind a lot of the storms, or at least kind of actually more out in front of the storms along Interstate 95. Connor is going to be getting pretty close to this area of storms that's quickly moving east near Kingsland. We are going to stay live all the way through that because I do think we might have a chance at a shelf cloud here. So we are going to definitely stay live for this. I have no clue. Guy, I have no clue. I'd say it's a pretty low amount of people, though, that are impacted by that. I'm not sure if there's an actual statistic out there. A lot of trees in Georgia, by the way, so we're not probably going to see a whole lot until he pulls off to the side. It actually looks kind of interesting, though. It's about 3 o'clock here in Georgia. Looks like the sun's about to set with how the clouds look right now. I would say it really looks like the sun's setting in like 20 minutes.
Listen, guys. Funky, you need to stop.
Oh, my bad. Wrong screen. How do you think Tennessee's tornado season is going to play out? I mean, if I did a state-by-state breakdown everywhere, I think I would be wrong like at least 50% of the time, so I'm not going to do a state-by-state breakdown. But I'll just say, I mean, I think the most active area this severe weather season with tornadoes will be the Midwest, and as well as the Southern Plains. Central Plains, Southern Plains, Midwest, those are the 3 areas, in my opinion, that'll be the most active. I think the Midwest actually will be one of the more active areas this severe weather season. Not like this month in particular, but just over the span of this year, I do think it's going to be very active. It already has been active. We've already had a couple of big events. Oh, wow, look at this. Fortunately, the truck kind of got in the way. Kind of see it a little bit. That's the storm there.
There goes our view.
Oh. That is the storm that is approaching him near Interstate 95.
Conrad.
How's it going, fan? Welcome back. Love your live streams whenever I'm bored. I also just joined because I love learning weather. That's good. Glad you enjoy my live streams. I try to go live as often as possible. Again, I would have been live earlier today, but I didn't wake up until like 1:15, so. Fun fact. What happens when you go to bed at like almost 5 a.m.? It's the latest I've gone to bed, by the way, in a long time. 5 a.m. Crazy stuff. Yes, there has been there was a confirmed tornado about an hour and 10 minutes ago on radar. That was at the beginning of this live stream. If you want to go back and watch that, you can. We didn't have any video footage of it, but it was a confirmed tornado by radar. It was on the ground for probably about 5 or 6 minutes. Myrtle Beach. I don't know if I've ever been to Myrtle Beach. Latest for me is 7 a.m. That's when you wake up? Or is that when you go to bed? 7 a.m. is crazy. How can you go to bed at 7? I mean, unless you're working, like, night shift or something. We might get another view here with this storm from Connor in a minute. I'm gonna go back to him here. And what we're watching right now for, I mean, we're not really watching for a tornado out of this, but we are watching for the shelf cloud, which is my favorite type of cloud. Fun fact. We are watching for the potential of a shelf cloud with this storm that Connor is going toward. He's very close. He's getting pretty close to it.
Pretty looking storm.
Might see it off to the right if he changes his camera angle.
Thank you, Bobby.
Go to bed? That's
Super
crazy.
chat. Appreciate you, brother.
12
W,
today?
Bobby.
That sounds like a typical day for me. Latest I've gone to bed is 1. Yeah, you're in for a treat if you ever go to bed at like 5. Alright, Connor's about to have a view on this, so we're gonna stay on him.
See if we can find somewhere.
I believe.
Might have to get back on the highway. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the area, so this may have been a dumb place to get off.
Look west.
Don't really know.
Florida. We're not seeing it yet. Get a little bit further to the right.
So like if we go to the
I wake
right,
up at 4
maybe
a.m.
we'll have a
Yeah,
better
I
chance.
could never do that. If I was forced to go to bed at like 7 or 8, it just wouldn't happen.
Let's try right.
Connor's about to have a
first.
view, I think, of something. Maybe? Nope, a lot of trees.
Yeah, this should work. This actually should work. Maybe.
Connor's trying to figure out where he wants to go. I think that's the shelf cloud right there.
Let's
It's a
see.
huge shelf cloud.
If we pull off
That,
right
if that
here,
is it. I can't really tell too much here yet.
it might just work.
I think Connor's gonna get some seafood here.
I'll
What do you think?
A quick U-turn at oysters, shrimp, and clams. You probably think I'm going here, but I'm just doing a U-turn. Sorry, guys.
I have to wake up for
Not
school
getting
at
oyster,
6.
Shrimp or clam.
For school? Yeah, I mean, that's a bit different when you have to go to school. How's it going, Samuel? Pull an all-nighter
actually
once?
don't
I've done that a
mind
couple
you.
times.
It could be better,
All-nighters are not worth
but
it.
it could be.
Do not
it could be
recommend.
worse.
It's like that's your shelf cloud right there.
Here it comes. Could be better, but it could be worse.
That one big tree right there, it's just blocking the entire view. One tall tree in the middle. Yeah, looks like we got our shelf cloud coming in. That's the shelf cloud. It's gonna look a lot cooler once it's closer.
I mean, it could be a worse view, I guess. There's the leading edge.
By the way, this is not a severe thunderstorm warning. I just don't have another graphic for it. For the record.
Yeah, White House seafood.
In case you were wondering.
I have only had a protein shake today.
I really
so
need to make another graphic for this.
Eventually, we'll have to get food.
How's it going, Castle? Welcome back.
Over there, coming in as well. Connor, do I like chasing solo or chasing with a group? Solo with a navigator? Yeah, I don't mind any. Chasing with the group is always fun.
We should do a storm chase sometime, though. I kind of want to do one in Kansas.
My preferred way is probably with
There's going to be some time where I go out to
somebody in my
Kansas and do a storm
passenger
chase.
seat giving me road options, but I enjoy being out here solo too.
Sometime in the future. Maybe Kansas, maybe Nebraska. Just somewhere flat. Flat storm chasing is way better. In my opinion. We'll probably do a storm chase, though, at some point in the future.
Yep, our storm has a good old special weather statement on it.
It was raining all day in Illinois yesterday. Yeah, I was in the forecast. It was supposed to be a rainy day there. Today it's beautiful, though, I think. It's a bit colder, but it's definitely a lot nicer. Strong northerly wind. Bring a little bit of lake effect snow as well. The only severe thunderstorm warning that we have right now, by the way, is up near Brunswick. That goes for 12 more minutes. This storm is not really rotating a whole lot. It's mostly a damaging wind, or really a gusty wind threat. And there's a pretty large shelf cloud that we're going to be looking at here. Not really the most impressive shelf cloud I've ever seen, but it's a shelf cloud.
Coming at us.
There you go.
The leading edge there.
A
Ooh,
little
look
better
at that.
overview of it.
The leading edge. Nice shelf cloud on this. Not much of a circulation on this. Tornado threat is definitely low, but gonna get a nice shelf cloud.
My last chase was back in May of last year. It's been a while. My last chase was back in, I can't even think. It was back in, I think, November or something like that of 2022. It's almost been about a year and a half now. It's the last legitimately chase. That was a hurricane chase, though. Not really the same. Pretty cool look at the shelf cloud. Again, not really the most impressive one I've ever seen, but I look a little bit cooler as the storm gets a little bit closer to him. Pretty fast moving storm, so it should be to him in like 5 or 6 minutes.
Oh, there's so many gnats. No. No! There's so many gnats in here now. No! What? Why? Oh my gosh. There's literally like 30 gnats in here now.
I think those are midgies, aren't they? Could be wrong.
So
I don't know if anybody's from Georgia. Aren't those midgies? Those things are brutal. Whenever I go golfing up closer to South Carolina and Georgia, that always happens.
I'm gonna be
whenever you hit down on, hit into the ground, all these midgies come out of the ground, and it's
my window.
brutal.
Go out, go free. Go free. Oh, I think most of them actually went out.
Storm chasing is an adrenaline rush. Yeah, it is an adrenaline rush.
Right now.
Sure. I've yet to actually do a tornado chase. I've only done hurricane chases, but I will probably do a tornado chase at some point in the future. Whether it's live on the channel or whatever it might be, we'll see.
Okay, I'm gonna get out.
Those seems, yeah, that's also the other. Yeah, I think that isn't that what's. Aren't they the same thing? Midgies and
leave me
those
alone.
seems, aren't they the same thing? Hurricane Adalia. I didn't do Hurricane Adalia. I did Hurricane Nicole. Was the main one. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna go out to the Central Plains. We're gonna go to Kansas for a storm chase. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna rent a Cybertruck and drive into a tornado. That's what's gonna happen. Not really. That'd be pretty cool though. Get a Cybertruck out there. Those things are crazy. It'd be interesting to see how they would hold up though in an actual tornado chase.
Bro, I'm gonna lead the
Those
Nats over
stainless
here.
steel doors and stuff.
Come on, come follow me, Nats, and I'm gonna run back to the car.
Rent out a Cybertruck.
Come on, Nats, get over here.
That'd be crazy.
Come here, guys. Dude, they're not taking the bait. What is going on?
Never heard of midgies?
Right under the whale's mouth here. Not an impressive whale's mouth, but still a whale's mouth.
I've experienced them plenty of times.
Under the lead edge of the shelf cloud here. Come on,
yeah, Runnington, I try to go live as much as possible. I mean, today, I honestly, I would have been live earlier just again. I didn't wake up until after most of the action happened. Pretty cool look at the shelf cloud here.
Oh, there they come. Here they come. I just felt like 4 gnats. Got him. Got him.
Gotta love being out here in the wildlife here of Eastern Georgia.
Thank you, Red Dozer, for the 20 bomb. Dude, there are gnats everywhere in my car still. I don't even know what they are, but probably, knowing my luck, there'll probably be no-see-ums and bite me. Alright, now we're just gonna sit and watch this thing.
So I think the main area here of the
tornado,
shelf cloud has moved through.
Tornado threat's definitely on the down
Flash of lightning.
trend.
Nothing really too crazy here. Really just that. And shelf clouds are my favorite clouds. That's why we're live. Love seeing shelf clouds. Unfortunately, this was not the most impressive shelf cloud that we've seen. We've seen some crazy shelf clouds in the Midwest before.
Whales, look at that.
Those are probably the craziest ones that I've seen. How's my day going, Max? Honestly, it's 3 o'clock. I've been awake for 2 hours, and about 75% of that has been spent being live, so it's going well.
Definitely not
I haven't really done much today.
Probably gonna wake up with 30 gnat bites.
After today, what's the next chase day?
Next week could be
the next
nice
chase day is not going to be until...
week.
I mean, like a storm chase day. It wouldn't be until at least Wednesday or Thursday. And that would be for the Great Plains or the Midwest. But, our next live stream currently is planned for Thursday.
Yeah, this thing's coming right at us. See that white?
It looks so different in my profile picture.
Right
that profile picture
that's
is
the
from...
the leading edge, the whale's mouth.
5 years ago?
It's over us, the range right there.
So, I've yet to change it. I need to get, like, a photographer to actually change it, because I've I don't know how to take photos.
Speaking
I could probably
of
actually do one
horseshoe,
myself.
You guys ever ate one?
I do have the lighting
Bro,
for it.
You ate a huh? You say you ate a horseshoe?
Yeah. I've only been awake for a couple hours. I've had some Popeyes today. No cheese curds there. Yeah, we haven't had any cheese curd sized hail yet today. Unfortunately. No little cheese curds falling out of the sky.
I'm just gonna let the storm like run us over.
Need Max out there.
Thanks,
yeah, let me rent a cyber truck and go storm chasing. That'd be the biggest flex if you were a storm chaser and had a cyber truck and you were gonna be driving into storms. That'd be crazy. That vehicle would only last for like 6 months. So it would not last very long.
That should take care of most of them.
You had a coffee yet? I don't usually drink coffee. I'm not a coffee person. I don't even know what I'm doing for lunch yet.
It's not spinning, so
probably not doing. I'm probably not gonna get cheese curds. I'm gonna be honest with you. Didn't have enough hail today. Not enough cheese curd sized hail for cheese curds to be a thing. I think a Cybertruck's like 60K, isn't it? Or at least the cheapest one. I think the cheapest one's like 60. They're going on. I think they're on the aftermarket right now for like 250K.
You take bread, French fries, and meat, and cover it in cheese sauce. It's called a horseshoe. That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing.
I don't really see a whole lot of wind out of this. It looks like this storm overall is not too crazy.
I'm also hungry.
And Connor's about to be in the front of the storm.
What's up, man? Riley, if you keep spamming, I'm gonna put you in timeout. Oh, Shelly got it. Shelly got it. About to say, you were treading the fine line.
Apparently, Shelly, there's a moderator on Connor's stream that's also named Shelly. Fun fact.
Oh yeah, I'm from Indiana.
Cybertruck would probably get destroyed by hail. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. I would kind of think that, you know, it has the really strong car doors and stuff. I feel like it would.
But we're gonna intercept this storm.
I feel like it would have some.
And then I'm probably gonna start heading back west.
Durability there
for a little bit. Yep, gust front. I don't even think we're gonna get damaging winds.
I could be wrong.
This is weak. This is pretty weak.
I just forgot to change my title. I keep forgetting to change my title is a problem. I forget it way too often. I think the body's pretty strong. I've been doing weather content for like 5 or 6 years now. This isn't like new. I mean, I would say on YouTube, we've only been doing this for not even 2 years on YouTube. And so, a bit more new to YouTube. We did Facebook for multiple years, so. I got into it years ago.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe we can get some. Yeah, this is probably all the storm is going to do, Chad, is this. It's pretty weak. I warned you.
Further reminder, by the way, we are now on Facebook, on our Facebook page, Max Velocity. I'm going to post a link in chat if you want to follow us over there. We are going to be posting more frequent updates there. I do highly recommend you following us. The link is in the chat. It's also in the description. If you've been enjoying this stream thus far, make sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. If you want to support the page above and beyond, you can become a member. Become one of the hundreds of members that we have here on our YouTube channel. Help keep things like this, like our Storm Chaser with us, possible on these live streams. You can become a member for as little as $2.99 a month. It is the join button, or it is the link in the description. It's at pretty close to the top of the description. It is the member link. If you want to join the Velocities, helps the page out a lot, and I would appreciate you become a member. Facebook streaming isn't popular at all. Actually, believe it or not, if you get into the algorithm on there, it is definitely a popular thing. I've had live streams on Facebook, like, even before I was really that big on Facebook, like, maybe 20,000 followers or so. I've had live streams around, like, 2,000 to 3,000 concurrent viewers. And it's a good platform. The problem is that the moderation is AI-based, so if you have some sort of word, like, let's say you say the word severe, it actually could get detected by AI, and you could actually get banned from Facebook, which I had that problem back last year, and so I got banned randomly for quote-unquote spam. I ended up getting my page back, but like it was a stressful 24 hours because we have sponsors on there and stuff that help keep that page possible, and you know, all those things were at
Sorry,
risk.
guys, I'm
So
texting with Storm Runner Media.
it's a tough thing on Facebook, but yeah, I think there's things that you can kind of prevent it from happening, but it's unfortunate because that was my main platform for quite a while when it came to streaming. And the only reason why we are this big on YouTube today is actually because of me getting banned one time for, again, falsely banned for really nothing. I would have never gone to YouTube probably otherwise fully. And so you probably think that for actually happening and me being on YouTube more often, because I think this would have definitely been way more delayed than what would have actually happened. So I end up pivoting. That was around, I think, May of 2022. So I started pivoting more to YouTube. I'll make a video on Thursday, probably tomorrow.
We're back. I'll text with Storm Runner Media.
There's a slight risk of severe weather already, a day 6 slight risk across the southern plains. I might even have a video later today. We might do a double upload day. We'll see. 3 videos in one day. A live stream, 2 videos. That'd be crazy. Oh yeah, YouTube is definitely the better platform. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely better, especially for live streaming. But Facebook is still a great platform. I mean, it reaches a lot of people. How's it going, Ro? Welcome back. But hopefully we can, you know, my hope is that we can like do a live stream to TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube all at the same time. But the problem is TikTok has this like weird thing where you have to like live stream for like at least 25 minutes and you can only do it on your phone. It's kind of dumb. It's really stupid. Like, you can't use their live studio.
Got a bunch of exposure on X. Nice postal spouting earlier today. Yeah,
that'd be the hope, because TikTok also.
I still need to like go back.
That also reaches a ton of people. I mean, we're talking like you can reach like probably more than YouTube, because Facebook or TikTok is just such a big platform. But again, it's not really about it's not really all about like, you know, just reaching a bunch of people. But like, if we did stream on 3 platforms all at once for like a severe weather event, we would have a lot more viewers than we have right now, and that would help getting the word out more on these severe weather events and such. And that's why we're expanding a bit on Facebook too. The Max Velocity Facebook page, that one we're also expanding to.
I'll read some more chat in a little bit, but right
and
now,
we're probably going to be getting. We have an Instagram page, Max Velocity, but I haven't really used it yet. We're trying to branch out a bit more now on the Max Velocity side of things, because our Facebook page is still just North Texas Weather Center, the other one that we have, which that's never going to probably change. But
I'm trying to find a non-annoying view. I guess that works.
You think it'll be really bad in Dallas on Thursday with the temps being cooler now? I'm going to do a forecast on that. I don't know how bad it's really going to be because I've really done very minimal research on it. I just know that there's a threat of severe weather on Thursday. And again, I'll have a video on that probably, my guess is tomorrow. Either tomorrow or later today, which I highly doubt later today. I was thinking about maybe doing an upload today, but I don't know if everybody would get the notifications because I've had like 3 different uploads in the last 24 hours, which might cause problems for notifications. So, I don't know. It's probably gonna be tomorrow. Possibly later today. From Illinois. Illinois could see some severe weather later in the week, too. No problem, Herman. By the way, we have no warnings right now. Again, the severe thunderstorm warning thing, I can't remove on this, unfortunately. But, yeah, we have no warnings right now. I think most of the storms are non-severe. Up to this point, this live stream has actually been slightly longer than yesterday, believe it or not. Yeah, looks like most of the storms are behaving themselves. The tornado watch goes for 45 more minutes across areas in northern Florida, southeast Georgia, but I don't think there'll be a reason to stay live for that long.
Alright, we're going to start heading towards Tallahassee. There should be more storms along the way, and...
Sounds like Connor is going to be going toward Tallahassee. There are storms out there.
Go toward Tallahassee.
On the radar here. There are storms out here. Most of these, again, non-severe, but there will be an increase, I think, of severe weather activity with this area of storms later this afternoon across northern Florida, maybe an isolated tornado, but We think the threat of severe weather overall will stay on the lower side of things with most of these storms. Special weather statement just issued on this storm that's developing near Lake Butler. Yeah, majority of these storms right now not overly crazy at this time. But I think that's going to do it for today's live stream. Obviously, not a super long live stream. I didn't expect it to be long for super long, but that's going to be doing that for today's live stream. If you enjoyed today's live stream, again, make sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe if you're new here. Click the bell icon so you're notified with the latest videos and such. If you want to support the page above and beyond, there are donation links in the description. There's also a membership link if you want to support the page. Again, this is not, we have a storm chaser and all sorts of stuff behind the scenes, so it's not free to do. So make sure if you want to support the page, feel free to do that with the links in the description. Again, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe. Next live stream probably will be on Thursday of next week, so be watching for that severe weather threat in the southern plains and back through the Midwest. I will have a full video on that either later today or tomorrow. If you want to know more about the snow potential in the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and the Northeast for tonight and tomorrow, you can check out today's video. I'll post the link in the chat if you want to watch that video. Again, it's very up to date. It's literally what's happening today. The link to that video will be in the chat if you want to check that out. Again, that was just uploaded a few hours ago. Check that out, and make sure to like the video as well. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Have a great, safe rest of your afternoon. If there's another reason to go live later for like a tornado or whatever, we'll obviously do an emergency live stream. But other than that, I don't think we're going to have too many more issues with this event. A lot of these storms will be, for the most part, just strong, maybe some damaging winds. All right, have a great day, guys. We'll see you guys all again in the next video and as well as the next live stream.